live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. This is the 9 p.m. telecast of the news of the prestigious channel of Sri Lanka. I'm Win Hettiarachchi.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
Sri Lankan Airlines receives a significant addition to its fleet after 7 years. The President stresses that it is important to work cooperatively with the people for a gradual transformation in the economy. Sri Lanka receives direct foreign investment worth $650 million in the first quarter of this year. The Health Secretary states there isn't a need to wear face masks within the service premises. Measures taken to solve salary anomalies of the staff of the Employee Provident Fund. People and officials in the north will be informed on the benefits of the Presidential Fund. New President of South Korea sworn in. Royal Challengers Bengaluru wins the IPL trophy.
Now those and more stories in detail on today's top story. The newly acquired Airbus A330200 wide-body aircraft of the Sri Lankan Airlines entered Sri Lankan's airspace today.
This wide-body aircraft joined the fleet for the first time after 7 years. It is significant that the aircraft, which came from Paris, flew over the Colombo coastal belt at a lower altitude before landing.
The aircraft flew over 1,500 feet altitude over the Colombo port city and up to Moratuwa from 8 to 9 a.m. this morning.
While many thought the curtains were closing in on Sri Lankan Airlines, we are here to witness a proud moment as Sri Lankan Airlines has just acquired a wonderful, a magnificent aircraft, which is the Airbus A330200, which is flying in from Paris right now, and it will be doing a flyby along the coast of Sri Lanka, that is from the port city all the way down to Moratuwa, and at a low altitude of just 1,500 feet. So we are here to witness this magnificent moment. The whole crew of ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation is here, as well as many people along the coastlines of Sri Lanka will be here from the port city all the way to Moratuwa to witness this amazing moment as well. And in just a little while, we can hear it right now, the Airbus A330-200 flying past us, flying past the Gulf face right now.
Then the aircraft landed at the Katunayake International Airport with the traditional water salute and then warmly welcomed by the airport staff. All religious dignitaries were also present at the airport and invoked blessings for the new aircraft for the success of its future operations. This wide-body aircraft has 18 business class seats and 242 economic class seats. All seats of the aircraft have been provided with wireless entertainment facilities. With this new aircraft, fleet of the Sri Lankan airline will go up to 23. Chairman of the Sri Lankan Airlines, Sarath Ganegoda, says plans have been arranged to expand services of the Sri Lankan Airlines since the passenger demand is rapidly increasing.
Yeah, so this is very important and a very happy and proud occasion. Sri Lankan Airlines getting this wide-bodied aircraft. With this, in total, we'll have 23 aircraft with 10 wide-bodied and 13 narrow-body. So this would help us to further strengthen our reach. Already we are covering 37 destinations in 23 to 22 countries. So this would help us to further strengthen and drive efficiencies. So when I say efficiencies, say on-time departures and arrival, and also in-flight experience like hospitality and cuisine and all that. And you can see it's a nicely, very well, beautifully refurbished cabin, and with this we could offer better customer experience to our passengers.
President Alanka emphasized today that achieving economic success alone is not sufficient for a nation's development, highlighting that economic progress must be accompanied by social development and a transformation in political culture. The President made these remarks during a discussion held at the Ministry of Finance with senior officials of Treasury. He stated that countries such as China, South Korea, Vietnam achieved significant economic transformation through the decades of collective efforts alongside the people. The President emphasized that the responsibility of developing a country rests within individuals collectively and that everyone must work together as a united front to achieve national goals. The President Alanka stated that as a political leader, he does not intend to impose his views on officials, but rather reach necessary decisions through structured dialogue between experts in the public service and political leadership. He recalled that several past projects in Sri Lanka had failed due to arbitrary political interference. The President instructed Treasury officials to implement structural reforms in key institutions based on core government policy while maintaining strategically important sectors under state oversight. He urged the state officials to act swiftly in this regard. He also drew attention to key external factors likely to impact Sri Lanka's economy, including International Monetary Fund's Extended Fund Facility Program, the newly imposed tariffs from the United States, and the upcoming expiration of the GSP Plus concessions in 2027. The Minister of Labour, Deputy Minister of Economic Development, Dr. Anil Jayantha Fernando, and several other officials were present at the discussion.
In the meantime, Minister Sunil Handuneti says that the country has received $650 million direct foreign investments during the first quarter of this year. During the Parliament debate today, the minister said that these investments have been implemented on 64 projects. Minister Sunil Handuneti said that Sri Lanka received $650 million in foreign direct investment during the first quarter of this year. He revealed this while speaking in the Parliament today. The minister stated that this investment supports 64 projects and that these figures are a significant increase compared to previous years. Minister Harshana Nanayakara said that the basic reason for the economic bankruptcy of the country was the frauds and corruptions conducted by the higher political authority. Recent court decisions also stressed this fact. The Bribery Commission punished Mahindananda Alutkambage and another person, hearing some cases against them. The reason for such a rigorous punishment is to prevent others misusing public funds. Politicians and officials are only the custodians of public funds. They are not supposed to maintain their families misusing public funds. The court system has now given a message to people who have engaged in such malpractices. This is not relevant only for the past politicians. It is also applicable for the present politicians and officials if they misappropriate public funds.
Minister Vasantha Samarasinghe today expressed information of the vehicle auctions of the North Central Provincial Council. It was presented in response to a statement made by parliamentarian Dayasiri Jayasekara in the Parliament. Mr. Vasantha Samarasinghe stated that the standard procedure before selling government vehicles involves obtaining an official government valuation. He explained that once the valuation is secured, a tender is initiated based on those figures. However, Samarasinghe noted that actual government valuation is not publicly disclosed and is only known for relevant institutions handling the tender process. He further alleged that certain vehicles were valued at over 13 million rupees once their gold-plated plants and luxury features were accounted for. He claimed that the opposition had spread false information by stating these vehicles were sold for 20 million rupees and calling such allegations baseless. He emphasized that the responsible members of parliament like Dayasiri Jayasekara should conduct privy inquiries before making public statements. He expressed regret over the misleading claims and stressed that important of factual accuracy in parliamentary discussion. MP Dayasiri Jayasekara acknowledged that he had received incorrect information regarding the vehicle sales. However, he asserted that the information was detailed and had appeared credible at the time.
Secretary to the Health Ministry consultant Dr. Anil Jayasinghe says that there is no necessity at present to instruct the staff to wear face masks within the office premises. He made these remarks focusing attention on a letter sent by the Deputy General Secretary of the Western Provincial Council to all heads of institutions under the council. The Deputy General Secretary has informed all staff under the title of awareness of wearing face masks to use them within office premises and other places where people gather at large. He has also informed that there is a possibility of spreading respiratory diseases such as influenza and even COVID-19 due to the existing rainy weather condition. However, the Health Secretary has pointed out that there is no necessity to consider the COVID-19 disease as a special risk situation. He further said that generally recommending such special health measures to the general public may cause harmful effects. The Health Secretary stresses that there is no problem in any person wearing face masks voluntarily or under medical advice for the protection of their private health. Consultant Dr. Deepal Pereira says that chikungunya infected patients should be away from others in order to minimize the spread of the disease. He stated this fact addressing the media. Consultant Dr. Deepal said that there is an increase of chikungunya, dengue and influenza, especially among children during the past few weeks. Such patients should have been identified and several safety measures should be followed. If there is a dengue or chikungunya patient at home, the patient should be kept within a mosquito net. If anyone has influenza symptoms, the patient must wear a face mask. Dr. Deepal Pereira also asked parents to keep infected children at home without sending them to school or any other activities.
The Colombo High Court today ordered to postpone further investigations of a case filed by Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption against former Minister Johnston Fernando and several others taken up before July 7th for further hearing. This order was given when the case was summoned before Colombo High Court Judge Aditya Patavelige. He has been charged that he incurred financial losses to the government by unlawfully engaging employees of Sathosa in political activities during Johnston Fernando's tenure as the Minister of Cooperative and Internal Trade. Former chairman of Sathosa, Iraj Fernando, coordinating secretary of former Minister Mohammad Sakir and salary officer of Sathosa, Menege Costa, also appeared before the court. The court ordered to issue summons to the witnesses to appear before the courts on the next date of the case. The Supreme Court has quashed a verdict given by the Court of Appeal, making decision taking the Attorney General null and void. In this case, the Attorney General had decided to name former Finance Minister Ravi Karunanika as the defendant of a case filed before a three-member panel on the High Court in Colombo. The relevant writ petition was also dismissed. The charge was to fraudulent business bonds worth 36 billion rupees and a bond auction of Central Bank in 2016 and several other allegations. Accordingly, the case has been filed under Public Property Act. The suspected shooter of a killing of the Ganemula Sanjeeva Samidu Dilshan Peyumgave, who is in remand, was produced before the identification parade held at the Colombo Magistrate Court. The suspect was brought to the court from the Busa prison under high security. Two witnesses were present at the identification parade. It has been reported that both witnesses could not identify the suspect. Later, the Colombo Chief Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali ordered the suspects to be remanded until the 6th of the month. Four students suspected in a ragging case against a female student at Kuliapitiya Technical College have been remanded until the 16th of this month by the Kuliapitiya Provincial High Court Judge Manoj Thaturupitiya. He has been reported that the victim had attempted to commit suicide after the ragging incident. She is now receiving treatment at Kuliapitiya Teaching Hospital. Parliamentarian Dasiri Jayasekara arrived at the CID this evening. He came to make a statement regarding obtaining money from the Presidential Fund and releasing some containers without checking.
The President's Office has planned a training program at the Kilinochchi District Secretariat to the officers handling matters related to the President's Fund. This session is intended for district secretaries and subject officers handling matters related to the President's Fund in the districts of Jaffna, Kilinochchi, Mullaitivu, Mannar and Vavuniya in the Northern Province on the 21st of this month. The primary objective of the program is to enhance the knowledge and skills of the officials, thereby increasing the number of beneficiaries in the Northern Province, delivering higher quality services, introducing the updated online system and ensuring more efficient and responsive service delivery. In line with this vision, similar training programs are expected to be implemented in other provinces in the near future. A number of councillors who were elected from various political parties at the last local government polls were sworn in yesterday and today as well. Attorney at Law M.J. Vikum Tilaka assumed duties as the chairman of the NPP One Divulpitiya Pradesha Sabha yesterday, while Gayan Niluksha was selected as the vice chairman. A large crowd, including Minister Anil Jayanta Fernando, were present at this occasion. Councillors who won the Panadura Pradesha Sabha and Panadura Urban Council under the National People's Power were also sworn in yesterday. A crowd, including parliamentarian Nilanthi Kotachi, was present at the event. The 6 councillors who were elected for the Wattala Mabula Urban Council under the Samagi Jana Balavege gave their oaths today at the residence of former parliamentarian Nyomal Pereira. Cameraman of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, T.M. Chanath Buddhika, passed away this morning. He was 40 years at the time of his demise. Chanath Buddhika joined the Production Services Division of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation as a cameraman in 2011. He has contributed his service in covering presidential, prime ministerial, parliamentary affairs and many other public events. He has also contributed to produce many award-winning programs including music, sports and teledramas. Among his programs are Kokred, Piyum Nilavila and Sandaru Suyamaya. In addition, he has covered many sports events including cricket matches and motocross events. He had showed a significant skill in covering rare scenes of the Air Force cycle tour organized under the media sponsorship of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. Chanath Buddhika is a father of 1 child and a resident at Thottagoda area in Galle.
Minister Dr. Alanka says that present government has taken measures to properly manage health, education and other essential services with priority while safeguarding the tax income paid by the entire community of the country. He made these remarks joining a ceremony held at the Vadua Central College. Minister Dr. Alanka said that the government has given priority to education and health as this budget. For the first time in history, a sum of 1,200 billion rupees has been allocated for these 2 sectors. These funds are the money paid by parents as tax. The people in this area have elected a genuine set of members to take the decision over the tax money. They are very well aware of the priority of these sectors and the public needs. This team has only one aim: to upgrade the country. Therefore, they will work around the clock to use tax money for the general public, for the future of the younger generation.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya attended as chief guest of the formal welcoming event for the Australian Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence Richard Marles, held yesterday at Australia House in Colombo during his diplomatic visit to South and Southeast Asia. While addressing the event, the Prime Minister highlighted the long-standing and growing bilateral ties between Sri Lanka and Australia, which have been strengthened through cooperation in various sectors such as political, economic, educational, defence, social and cultural. She also emphasised the importance of Australia's support to Sri Lanka, especially during challenging times, and expressed optimism about further expanding trade and economic Meanwhile, a meeting between Australia Premier Richard Marles and Deputy Defence Minister Major General Aruna Jayasekara was also held yesterday at the Deputy Minister's office in Colombo. They focused attention on expanding partnership in political, economic and defence cooperation and enhancing the regional security. They also held talks on marine safety and awareness, capacity development and training sectors.
The Prime Minister, Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, stated that teaching English as a language should serve as a means to broaden opportunities, not as a tool to create social disparities, and that the government is ready to implement practical English learning approaches through the upcoming educational reforms. Prime Minister made these remarks while delivering a keynote address at the Sri Lanka Educational Conference 2025 organised by the British Council in Colombo yesterday. The Prime Minister emphasised the need for a wide range of cooperation to bring an inclusive and equitable education system aligned with the future needs. Therefore, the government is in need of support of national and provincial government officials, the Ministry of Education representatives, development partners and private sector stakeholders. The primary goal of the new initiative is to ensure fair access to English education by creating opportunities for all students, fostering inclusivity, promoting equality. Key aspects including empowering teachers, institutions and strengthening English medium instruction and enhancing digital tools for innovation and learning. The event was attended by numerous officials.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya briefed the Parliament that the measures taken by the Ministry of Higher Education to prevent ragging at higher education institutes in Sri Lanka. Addressing the Parliament, the Prime Minister further said that the recommendations made by the University Grants Commission have already been implemented.
The Prime Minister explained that ragging prevention task force have been established in all state universities under the guidance of subcommittee appointed by the UGC. A system has been made where a complaint made through the park will be immediately notified to the task force and UGC officials of the incident, the Prime Minister said. Premier also revealed that it is being proposed to establish a victim-focused support system which will further strengthen the complaint system and provide necessary support for the victims. The Prime Minister said that all awareness programs have been introduced for all university students, including those regarding the student councils. He pointed out that it has been observed that ragging at state universities is not limited to first-year students but has become a traditional activity spreading to other senior years as well.
Trade Minister Vasantha Samarasinha says that if the price of salt is increased arbitrarily, a maximum retail price will be imposed within this week. He made these comments at the Ministerial Committee meeting of the Trade, Commerce, Food Security and Cooperative Development held at the Parliament complex today. Minister Vasantha Samarasinha said that salt is imported to the country with a tax of 40 rupees a kilo. India gives us a kilo at 77 rupees. In general, wholesale business traders usually earn a profit of 10 to 20%. However, now that the shortage of salt has become a racket and some importers attempt to earn higher profits, therefore the minister said that he informed the importers and their associations to end this mafia. The government will impose a maximum retail price soon. Importing a kilo of salt at 80 rupees and attempt to sell at 150 rupees a kilo. It is justifiable that 100 or 120 rupees a kilo. If these racketeers attempt to earn more profits, the government will take stern actions against them.
The last Pson committee meeting held regarding the National Pson Festival this year was held yesterday at the Anuradhapura District Secretariat. The Pson Festival is to be held in Mihintale under the guidance of Atanasthanapati Venerable Palligama Hemaratana Nayaka Thera. Mahasangha, headed by the chief incumbent prelate of the Ruanvali Sire, Venerable Ethanavatunavave Gnanathilaka Thera, chairman of the Pson Committee, District Secretary Ranjit Vimalasuriya and several other state officials were present at this meeting.
Deputy Minister of Finance Anil Jayanta says that measures will be taken to solve the problem of salary anomalies of the staff of the Employees Provident Fund. He made these remarks at a media briefing held yesterday. Deputy Minister Anil Jayanth said that some say that salaries of the staff of the Employees Trust Fund have been reduced. The government stresses that there is no such problem which has occurred. Some disparities of these staff have been prevailing since the previous regimes. However, the government is now having discussions with the Management Services Department, Director Board of the EPF and other internal committees to solve this problem. With the new salary increase of this government, the problem has been corrected at large. The rest of the problems will be solved with further discussions by the chairman of the ETF and with the relevant ministries. The Blossom Alanka Golden Awards was held recently at the BMICH in Colombo.
The aim of this awarding ceremony is to felicitate the academics and professionals who has dedicated their services to arts and the media sector. This event was organized by the Blossom Lanka Private Limited and Resin Art Shop for the third time, and the National Television also won several special awards at the ceremony. The National Television was awarded as the most prestigious channel of the year. The first female news director of SLRC, Vimukta Karyavasam, was awarded with a gold medal to felicitate her services as the female manager of the media sector. Senior journalist and news leader Dushant Darshana was also felicitated with a gold medal considering his 25 years of media service. In addition, Punsiri Zoiza, Maya Damayanti, Melanie Ashoka, Siddharth Anthony and several other senior artists were also awarded at the ceremony. Many artists and academics were present at the felicitation ceremony, which was held under the patronage of Senior Professor Dayarohana Athukoral. We'll be back with foreign news after a short break.
You can make a difference. It is your duty to help eradicate dengue. Clean up your environment at least once a week. A message from the Dengue Control Unit of the Ministry of Health.
We now move on to news overseas. Opposition leader Lee Jae-myung was sworn in as South Korea's next president on Wednesday, which is today, following a dramatic snap election 6 months after the country's previous leader declared martial law and plunged the nation into chaos. Official results showed Lee winning by nearly 3 million votes ahead of his main rival Kim Moon-soo of the incumbent Conservative People Power Party. Kim conceded defeat early Wednesday morning and congratulated Lee on his victory in a speech and saying that he humbly accepts the people's decision. Addressing crowds of supporters in Seoul, Lee promised to work to restore the economy from day one and to ensure there will never be a military coup. Lee was promptly inaugurated on Wednesday morning. The ceremony was scaled down with some brief musical performances and a speech from the new leader. Lee had wanted to keep it simple and focus on state affairs immediately after being sworn in, according to the Ministry of Interior and Safety. Moving on to sports news. After 18 seasons, Royal Challengers Bengaluru are finally IPL champions.
Their victory in the fourth final they appeared in came at expense of another trophy-less team that had put together a passionate campaign, Punjab Kings. At the end, it was a bowler-dominated game. Punjab Kings restricted Royal Challengers Bengaluru to 190, but the Royal Challengers Bengaluru were able to restrict them 184 and win the game. Kunal Pandya, Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Das Dawal, who have all won IPL titles at other teams, brought their experiences to the play on the Ahmedabad surface. The margin of the victory was narrow, 6 runs. It also showed how closely matched the teams were, but there was also a little bit of a deception. Shankar Singh, who finished the unbeaten on 30 ball 61, hit Joseph Hazelwood for 3 sixers and a 4 to end the match and the season.
On behalf of Kamindu Nuan Tushara, will pick up the award to Rajat Patidar, a moment that the RCB fans will never ever forget.
Yeah, 3rd June 2025 going into 4th June will be etched forever in all of these memories, because the wait has been long, but it is one to savor into the wee hours of the morning. RCB are champions 2025, and what a season it has been.
That's it for tonight's English telecast. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.